Hi, my name's Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and this is the Elite Ember. Now, I've set the Elite Ember on, I think, 28.5 on minimum poundage. So with the Elite Ember, you can kind of see how much you can wind down the bow with limb bolts here, how much is left on the thread. With the Elite Ember, you can also fit limb stops. I haven't done that because I just want to shoot. Okay, so the bow's on at minimum poundage at maximum draw length of 29 inches at 27 pounds. Now I've shortened it down a little bit, so I'm going to guess it's on around 25 pounds. I'm at 18 meters, so I'm shooting a toe point sight with a scope, no peep sight, D-loop, toe point rest. We're shooting these little Pandarus ice point arrows. These are rated for a 60-pound bow, and again I'm shooting 25 pounds. Now I'm going to say originally I set this bow on 29 inches because my draw length's 29, felt too long and my groupings were a bit all over the place. Okay, I was finding I was getting a lot of shake like that, so I shortened it down by ½ an inch. I shot 3 arrows, they went in the middle, so I'm like, okay, let's do this video. So what's really good about the Ember is it's very adjustable in draw length and poundage, so it goes from 10 to 60. Now the 10 pounds is at minimum draw length, not at maximum draw length. So at maximum draw length, minimum poundage is 27. The draw length goes from 15 to 29. Okay, so that's why I chose this as my first bow. But when I went to shoot the bow, it was too heavy for me, so I had to start on the M2. I feel like I've progressed up in strength in the last week, so here we are, we're going to give it a go. So the question is, how's it going to shoot? Am I going to shoot better? You can see the string's still a bit, floppy. This string will become more tight as you wind it up to maximum poundage and shoot a little bit better at maximum sort of poundage. So let's give it a go and sort of see how it shoots. Now, I'm going to say the grip's a little bit different to my other Elite bows. My other Elite bows I shoot is like the Envision, the Verdict, the Result. It's got a slightly different grip. It feels like it narrows down. This feels parallel. It feels more like a PSE grip. Feels a little bit narrower than a PSE grip. So let's have a shoot. Now I've got no peep sight because I haven't fitted one. So what the peep sight will do is clarify the shot. So basically, if you've got a scope, it'll clear it up, and that way you can center the peep around the scope. But if you don't have one, if you're holding in the same spot every time, it's fine. Same as shooting a recurve, so don't stress about it. Getting a little bit of a shake. Now with the limb stops, you'll get more of a positive draw anchor. So when you get to the back wall, it will be more positive. And I definitely benefit from that with the lightest bow poundage because it's a little bit, I'm going to say sloppy, but it's fine to shoot. And I'm hoping they go in the middle. Otherwise Elite will hate me and they'll probably go, we want to supply Elite bows to the other shop in Australia. That's the way it works in Australia. Probably the way it works in America too. Oh Lord, that was shaking everywhere. Now what I'm finding now, so I'm coming back from heart surgery. What I'm finding is I shoot better with a shorter draw length. Okay, with this arm being more relaxed, I find I shake less. Now I don't know if that's because of the lighter bow poundage or what, but I'm definitely thinking when I as I come back, that maybe they've taken an inch out of my chest, I don't know, but when I come back, I'm definitely thinking of a shorter draw length and trying that. And I always suggest trying stuff. Like shoot one draw length for a month and then shorten or lengthen and see if you shoot better or worse. Now I will say the holding weight, so when I get back to full draw, the holding weight is less than the M2 that I shot. So that's why I'm getting a lot more of the moving around, because when I get back there, I'm only holding like 3 pounds. So when I get back over the draw position, I'm holding 3 pounds, so I'm shaking around a bit. But I feel like it's okay. I'm always amazed how it hits the center, because when you're moving around that much, I don't know how you hit the center, but now I've been shooting these ice point arrows for a while now with compound and recurve, and I've found them really good. One of my friends came in and brought some and wanted to try them out. He went home and fitted them, and he fitted the points, and they didn't spin very well. It's like the points were bent. I don't know what the deal was, but I grabbed some more points and put them in the other end. The arrow spun perfectly. So I'm not sure what the story was with it. I don't know if it's the heat when you heated up the point. I'm not sure, but the point definitely was a little bit not straight. So he went for tungsten points because they're a 3.2 shaft, so that's X10 thickness. I'm just using the standard stainless steel points. Look, the points are cheap, so I would have just gone with cheap points because I can't justify expensive tungsten. I suppose the question is, are you going to buy yourself points? If the answer is yes, then absolutely go for it. And the other thing is, like, one of my friends is going to Ireland. It's going to cost them $15,000, they said, to compete in the World Championships. $15,000 and you don't have tungsten points? Like, once you're starting to spend money on travel, going to tournaments, and you practice a lot, and like this is your, I'm going to say livelihood. It's not their livelihood because they don't make money from it. It's a sport, but they take it seriously. It's a very cheap sport compared to go-karts or motor racing. Probably compared to any other sport. This is a cheap sport because once you've got your gear, you're done. So that's where the tungsten points come into their own. Now, I will say, before this sight was moving around, now I've tightened it up. So there's some little screws on the side here, which I've tightened. Some little screws on the side here that I've tightened. Now, if you tighten them too much, the sight won't be able to move. And I'm going to say, when you tighten up any screws in archery, it's lightweight aluminium with a couple of threads. If you strip those threads out, that is not a warranty, okay? And you're going to come into my store or another store and go, oh, look, this thing's stripped out. You've done it two things. You crank on those Allen keys, you're going to strip them, guaranteed. I do not understand it. I don't know why people do it, but they always come in and they always want a warranty. Warranty is if a part is faulty. And the reason I say this is because I'm always out of pocket. So it gets to a point, well, what do I do? Do I sell this product? Do I not sell this product? Do I mark it up more? So I harp on these things because literally I see it every day in my store. In fact, I saw it at another store this weekend. Person derailed their bow. The cam, bent over. I went, that's interesting. I didn't sell the bow. He's like, can I order some cams off you? I'm like, sure. Now, if that was my store, they'd want a warranty because guaranteed, almost, I never have had a person not want a warranty for it. And you've got to do it for free, so it's out your pocket, and it's like, I just want to tell you what you did wrong so you don't do it again, because this is killing me. And you think, like a harp on these points, and you think, oh, well, it doesn't make any difference. It actually makes a huge difference. When I used to start in archery, everyone used to string their recurves around their legs and they'd break the limbs. It's very rare now today that happens. The practice has almost been wiped out. There's still plenty of old archers who still do it, but in the vast majority of cases, most people use a bowstringer. People used to shoot with fingers, the arrows would come off, they'd dry fire their bow. These practices are starting to get wiped out. Where people pull back the bow without an arrow in it, dry fire the bow explodes. People are drawing the bow back with an arrow in it now. It does make a difference. You just got to harp on it and hope that a person sees the video before they make the mistake. Like I'm going to say, I get two derails a week and probably 2 dry fires a week. Today we had 2 derails and maybe 1 dry fire today. Now, to improve the accuracy, as you wind up your weight, it'll become better. If you had proper arrows, and when I say proper arrows, the right weight arrows, it would be better. Because the difference in 2 meters at the target in this bow is about that much. It's faster than the M2. There's no question about that. It's like high poundage, longer draw length. So it is faster than the M2, so the gaps are less. But so as you wind up the poundage, this bow will become better, easier to shoot. If you had limb stops on, maybe easier. Stabilizer would get rid of the wobbles. As long as you can hold it up. I'm not ready to hold up stabilizers yet, but I feel like I'm getting close to it. So now, I would say the bow is lovely to shoot. It feels a lot more comfortable to me than the M2. I'm going to say yes on draw length. It's more comfortable, but the axle, this is 31 inches. The M2 is like 27 or something. It's much shorter, harder to see through the peep sight. This feels a lot more comfortable. There's very little shock. I'm going to say probably the holding weight on the M2 was easier for me. I got less shock. But if you put limb stops on this bow, you get the same result. So, and with this bow, I can wind the poundage up because I'm actually only holding like 3 pounds. So, and don't be at a rush to increase your poundage. For me, I'll shoot. If I have no pain, then I go up in poundage. That's simple. Too many people crank it up, dry fire the bow because the bow's too heavy, or derail the bow because the bow's too heavy, break their bow. So let's go and have a look at the arrows and the target. Okay, so I shot an 8 up here. But overall, it's a pretty sound group. Now, what you're probably going to say is, well, Stephen, that group's not a lot better than the M2, and I'd agree with you 100%. It's still pretty decent for me, and I'm still pretty happy with it. Now, first off, the thing I'm going to say is I shook around with the Ember a lot more than the M2. It was like chalk and cheese. The M2, my little pin was sitting in the middle. With the Ember, I was getting a lot of left and right shakes when I was holding it up and as I was aiming, because I'm not holding much weight, because I'm only holding 2 pounds. Definitely holding a lot more poundage with the M2. So I was a lot more stable, and I was getting less twitchiness with the bow because there was more poundage holding it back. So to get rid of the twitchiness, you can fit limb stops. So you're sort of the same holding weight, but you know, less valley, or even just increase the holding weight. But to me, the bow's a lot more comfortable to shoot. I feel like I could shoot it well. Now, some of the other differences, I don't have a peep sight in this bow. I had a peep sight in the M2, and whether that helped or not helped. The draw length is interesting because I feel like the shorter draw length helps, and I definitely didn't shoot this well with the Ember on 29 inches. I was getting a lot more variation because I was getting a lot more twitchiness, and that's probably because I'm not holding against the wall solid enough. So with the Ember, I might even want to go down to a 28 inch draw length, but for me, I'd shoot at this draw length and sort of just let it progress over a few days and over a week and sort of see how it is. So if you own an Ember, now limb stops, there's little metal plates at the hips. You can move those. If the limb stop hits those, you can just move them out of the way a little bit. I like the bow to start with. I still think I went through the shop and picked out all the bows that I could shoot. I was looking for adjustability. I was looking for a lightweight riser. And I think the Ember's the best of those bows. As far as like for ladies, kids growing up, it's very hard to find a bow that is better than the Ember, in my view. And that's not because I've got an Elite t-shirt on or I'm paid by Elite, because I'm not paid by Elite. They don't give me the t-shirt. They don't give me the hat. I had to buy the hat. They don't give me the bow. I had to buy the bow. Okay, Elite don't give me anything. Right, so I'm not saying it. I just don't know of a better bow. And I went through that whole video. I walked through the shop. I thought about the Elite basin to shoot, but the bow was heavier, which is why I went for the Ember. So my summary, I like the Elite Ember, and that's the bow I'm going to be sort of shooting as I increase in bow poundage, and then I'll probably progress up to the basin as the next bow. I'll probably be adding stabilizers to this, and we'll sort of see the difference. But I'll do some more videos as I start to get back in, and we'll see if the group tightens up and sort of see how it goes. But I'm going to say one thing overall, that if you shoot archery, like if, you know, and I'm guessing you shoot archery if you're watching these videos, if you can shoot 18 meters like that, then you get down to your club and shoot, because this is going to be excellent. And that's the Elite Ember with basically nothing on it. You know, it's got a whisker biscuit, which is an $80 rest. Sorry, it's got a blade rest, which is an $80 rest, $150 sight, some cheap arrows, and you'll be able to shoot good scores. I mean, at a state level, this would be good scores to be shooting for a kid, a lady. Even in the men's division, you're going to shoot okay if you're shooting scores like this. You're not going to win, but you're probably going to do okay. So get down there and shoot. And I suppose what I'm saying, this is a starting point. As you add stabilizers, as you add weight, as you shoot more, as I start shooting more and get more familiar, I'll shake less, my body will be more in tune, my muscles will develop, things will get better, and the grouping will become tighter. So just get started shooting. The more you shoot, the better you'll shoot. I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching. Bye.